and what's today? Hello and happy Thursday, my beautiful people. My name is Keasha Lee, and I am very happy to share with you another episode of Konvos with Keasha, Conversations with Keasha. Hello. Today, my special guest is Dawn Resell. She will be coming in to share some insights and thoughts around how to use ancient tools to help us thrive in modern times. Yeah, there are tools and rituals that have been around for centuries that can really support us in our own healing. And so I'm going to have Dawn come on in and we're going to have our conversation. So as you all keep on tuning in, we're going to definitely answer any questions you might have live. I love doing that. So please don't be shy as you listen to the conversation if you have any questions. Dawn will be in just momentarily. I hope y'all are doing great. Hey, Dawn.
Hi, Keasha.
Hey.
Hi.
Welcome. This
Thank
is exciting.
Yes, very exciting.
I'm so glad
it's happening.
Yeah, there is a lot happening. Are you good? You're just getting settled?
I'm just getting my camera situated here. Okay.
Okay.
Can you see me okay?
Yes, I can see you. Great. If you could do a little, maybe a little more centered, because, that's perfect. Because you're like the focus in the shot. And we want to see your beautiful face so we can hear what you have to say today. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, so we are talking about a few things because the conversations are very organic. We have an overarching topic that helps us with direction, but in terms of how things come out and what kinds of gems and insights are explored and shared, that remains to be known as it flows. And I love that. That's why I do these conversations, and that's why I choose special folks in my life, those that I've known for a bit, newer people, because I feel that by just having a conversation, we can really benefit. And I think collectively from people who are hearing and listening, my goal is if somebody can walk away and say, hey, I've never thought of it that way before, then I've done my service for humanity for the day. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, why it matters.
Great. Well, I am Dawn Resell. I am a guide, teacher, and healer in the lineage of King Solomon. My business is The Light Within. I'm based in San Diego, California. And it matters because I help people reconnect with their joy and their purpose and have more meaning in life. And, I started this work because I myself was seeking healing. And I myself was seeking purpose in life. And it was a surprise to me that the more that I did this work, the more I realized that it was actually my purpose to share this with other people as well.
I love it. And, I really believe that our lives serve as a testament to what's possible to others. And so I think you're doing a wonderful job of that, Dawn. I will also share that, Dawn, that we know each other through networking professionally. That's initially how we met.
Right.
And life has kept us involved in some way. Then there was the vegan lady boss scenario, right? Those meetings that you invited me to. And then as Dawn has, definitely gone on her own journey, personal journey, she's ever so gently and persistently, hey, Keasha, I thought I'm doing this. I thought, you might be interested in this. And so let's go a little bit more into that. You want to share? I guess I'm beating around the bush. Like, Dawn explained that she does share teachings and healings from the lineage of King Solomon. And so on her
in her own journey and learning and becoming a teacher, and stepping more into her healing gifts, she supports others along the way, and she has helped me. I have done a few things. One is the life activation that Dawn has done for me. I can't really say what exactly it entailed, but I felt blessed, and things have definitely, I think the timing is so important in life.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the timing of that, which was just over a year ago, September, you have the date, September 20 something of 2021 was when I got my life activation. Now we're in November of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I've also become an initiate of this lineage, and that is more of an intensive, a weekend basically of learning philosophies and rituals and practices to support. Again, the purpose is to support us in understanding, having a deeper level of awareness of self and connection to the divine, and actually using tools to support us in our own healing, and bringing light to the world. I hope I summed that up pretty okay.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, and it's been a real joy, Keasha, to work with you and see you progress in your journey. I think we've both changed so much in the time that we've known each other. And I think what would be great to share today is how these tools have helped both of us in our journey of progression and self-knowledge and joy and finding meaning and purpose, and how it's helped us change our lives for the better.
Yeah. Okay. So I know for myself, let's see, I moved to California in 2017, and I think we met in 2018. And I was a totally different space. Spirituality was something that was definitely of interest, and I was doing certain things. But I will tell you, since being here in California and the things that life has opened up to me, it has collapsed the time and has like accelerated. Let's just say it has accelerated my progress. And I say that and believe that because I believe that everything that happens within us, that we're doing within us, is reflected outside in the world around us. And I have gone from being very unsure about certain things, certain outcomes in my life, direction, and to having even to feeling more trust that things are going to be good, even if I don't have all the answers, because in reality, we don't have a lot of answers.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a journey, right? And so what's the point of knowing all the answers? The point is really to the exploration, right? And the journey and the joy of discovering. And so for me, that's been a huge part of my spiritual evolution and journey, is the discovery of who I really am. And in the lineage of King Solomon, we really say that the path is to know thyself. That is the spiritual path. And if you just focus on knowing yourself, you will know God, you will better understand the universe, and you'll be able to serve yourself and humanity better. And so it opens up everything really in terms of your spiritual progression if you focus on knowing yourself and knowing yourself specifically as a divine being and how divine you are. And so that is what the teachings and healings of the lineage of King Solomon help support others in. So it's not a religion, it's a spiritual path, but it's a spiritual path that gives people tools to support them in their own self-discovery. So there's no dogma, there's nothing that you have to believe, but there are tools that will support you in your progression and that journey to self.
All right. Y'all hear that? It's about the spiritual journey is about knowing thyself at 100%. And also it is about that. It is about the journey and having joy and being open and trusting of that journey.
Yeah.
Because when you have an openness of heart, of mind, God will, people, opportunities, situations will unfold that will blow your mind. You're like, wait, in support of you. Exactly. And so, yeah, and I just want to reiterate that. Can we talk about a couple of things like a couple of things that, tools
Yeah,
that we can
certainly.
use to support ourselves.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, the first tool I'll talk about is one that people are generally familiar with, but maybe don't have experience with, and that's meditation. You know, and to me, meditation is the number one tool to really connect with yourself and get quiet, you know, get centered. And that's the number one tool to know yourself, in my opinion. Um, is meditation. And we have a number of different styles of meditate. There's lots of meditations out there, but in the lineage of King Solomon, we have a number of specific meditations that we use. The one that has helped me the most to know myself is called the sanctuary meditation. And so someone can learn that by attending one of my classes, and particularly in Empower Thyself Initiation. We learn that. And the unique thing about that style of meditation is it helps you connect with your higher self and your spirit guides, and teaches you a method to directly have interactions and conversations and energy exchanges with them. And so we really are our higher self. That's our true essence. That's our spirit. But we get into this physical body and this density, and we sometimes lose that connection. We think that this body, this is all we are, right? That's an illusion that many humans have, that it's just this physical body and that's it. But we really are so much more. We have an energy body that consists of our soul and our spirit, and our higher self is the true reflection of who we are. And so our job as humans, really, in our spiritual evolution, is to be living as that higher self. So that's number one tool that I encourage people to use. Particularly the sanctuary meditation has helped me so much in my evolution. And then we have healings also in our lineage. So the life activation, which Keasha received over a year ago, is the first healing that I typically recommend for someone when I work with them. And the reason is it ignites that spark within you of who you really are. It's a catalyst for reconnection to who you are and your true purpose. So what it does is it lights up your divine blueprint, which is the plan that you created for yourself before you came here, of what was your highest purpose and what you really, like a roadmap of what you really wanted to accomplish, who you wanted to be, how you wanted to impact the world. And along the way, we can forget. We can lose connection with that, right? And the activation brings in a bunch of light that just reignites that spark, illuminates that path for you, and helps you attract things into your life that are really in alignment with that plan that you created for yourself before you even got here. And so it really helps just get people refocused on that path, that true path that they're meant to fulfill.
And I'd like to say something to that, and what the life activation and also the initiation has helped me with. It's like a lot of times you have an intellectual knowledge of something. For example, this is what I'm going to get into specifically. Imagination, the power of visualization or projecting. You know, we use it a lot. We do use our imaginations, but not in the way that I think can be of best use and benefit to us. A lot of times the default, and I will say, I think it's due to some of the social systemic conditioning in the world that we live in. But a lot of our times we use our imagination to concern ourselves and worry ourselves with stressful scenarios. You know, a lot about fear, or what we don't want to happen, what we're scared is going to happen, or be wrong, or make us look foolish, or create suffering in some way, right? And we tend to default to this as humans. And it is a way of using our imagination. What I have learned with this, through learning the tools with you, and also in my own other things that I utilize, right? Because there are a multitude of tools that we can use to support ourselves, is that our imagination is like one of the most powerful. It's a faculty that we have as humans that can be utilized in a positive way to create magnificent outcomes. And I think the tools through this, including meditation, because it does include visualization, but it's other things, some of the rituals and such that we're using our imaginations to help us be in a space and a place to receive the light and to actually send light. So that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, I love that. And you really pointed out something so important that people lose sight of, which is how powerful they are. You know?
Yes.
And so we create our reality through our thoughts, deeds, and words. And we are the creator of our own life. And so that is one of the number one things that we help to remind people of through this work. The life activation does it sort of in a way that's in the background, that it becomes a catalyst for people to just have that knowing. And then if you continue on to empower thyself initiation, it becomes explicit because we give you specific teachings, explicit teachings on how important you are, how important your thoughts are, what your energy body is, the nature of it, how it impacts others, how we're all connected, how we are the creator of our own universe and how powerful we are, and to take more responsibility for that power that we have, and how it impacts the world, how it impacts us. So yeah, and empower thyself initiation, that's where you gain a toolbox of things to become that powerful creator in your life in a positive way, to really shift the energies that you're sending out to create your own reality and to affect the world so that it becomes more positive and becomes more impactful. Because as an initiate in the lineage of King Solomon, you have 10 times more power. It actually changes your aura structure when we do that initiation ceremony so that you can hold 10 times more light. And so you are 10 times more powerful. You're having 10 times more impact on the world. And that comes with responsibility. It's very exciting, right? Because then you can have 10 times more acceleration in your growth and 10 times more power to create the life that you want. But it means you have to clean up your thoughts too, because you have 10 times more impact on the world. So you have that responsibility that comes with it. And that's why I really emphasize meditation, because it really helps us connect with who we are in the light, and that light on that, and then clean up our thoughts so that, as you say, we're so much more positive and we're sending that out into the world instead of the negativity or the worry. That accomplishes nothing, right? It only creates more negative in the world.
Right. Yes. And another thing, and speaking to that, and thank you, very true, very, very eloquently stated, Don. Another aspect of that, in terms of our thoughts and the stories, there are rituals. So ritual, because as humans, we're going to have good moments in a day and not so great moments. We're going to have good days, not so great days.
Exactly.
We're not saying that life is not going to stop happening.
Right.
Meaning the ups and downs, the confrontations, the opportunities to look at our wounds and the places that still need more love and nurturing, right? So again, the tools we have to help us get back, to help us get back to center, to help us feel lighter, to have a place to go to say, I can't deal right now. It really helps in terms of helping with resistance and things to just hit pause on everything. Yeah. And so I think there are tools, and the rituals help us to do that as well as protecting our space. And I like the activation of space, and also, for the sake of protecting it and keeping the vibrations high, and the places and the spaces that we spend the most time in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thank you for talking about rituals. I mean, it's such an important part of our practice, lineage, and it's basically the most important thing you get when you become an initiate in the lineage of King Solomon, because you get tools to use, rituals to use in your daily life that support you in creating the life that you want and holding the energy that you want. And so ritual is a term that's kind of thrown out there a little bit casually now in society. So I'd like to kind of define it a little bit in terms of what we're talking about specifically are rituals that have been handed down for thousands of years and used the same way. And these rituals are ways of calling in specific energies and setting them to work in the world and in our life. And so we don't create these, but we use them. They've been used the same way for thousands of years. And so it's very different from habit, which is something that we would create for ourselves, like a ritual of, sitting down for coffee every morning. That's great, but that's a habit, so we're really, I want to clarify that this is something totally different. So for example, one of the rituals we used, Keasha kind of mentioned, is a way to protect our space and raise the vibration of our space. And we actually begin our ritual practice in the morning and the evening with that ritual, so that we're creating a container of light. So that way all of the other rituals we do are amplified. So some of the other rituals we do are for like banishing negative energy from ourselves or things that we may have collected over the day from other people. And we have one for manifestation, for specifically calling in the powers of heaven and the powers of the universe, and even calling in archangels to support us in what we're trying to manifest and create in the world or within ourselves. Because as you mentioned, it's also equally important that we look at ourselves, right? And work through our own healing and our own progression. And when we bring in this much more light with a spiritual journey, one of the gifts it gives us is awareness. And so, we want to accept that gift of awareness, but we want to use that awareness to transform ourselves to be better. And so that is one of the things that these tools do, is help us to have the empowerment to transform ourselves for the better. And that then therefore makes the world better, makes our lives better. And some of the other rituals Keasha and I use on a daily basis are like for energy protection. There's one that you can use that basically becomes like an energetic shield that walks around with you so that, you're not taking on as much of other people's energy. And for empaths, that particular ritual is like a game changer, because empaths are usually feeling what everyone else is feeling around them. And sometimes they can't even distinguish between what they're feeling, what other people are feeling, because they're almost like a sponge, right? Yeah. And so it's hard for empaths to be in the world a lot of the times, and they tend to isolate themselves because they feel too much, And so that particular ritual that we use is a game changer, because it creates this energetic shield. And then it also creates this level of awareness of what we own and what we're taking on from others that is so helpful for our own progression. Because if we can't distinguish between what we're feeling or what we're thinking and what other people are putting on us, it becomes very difficult to heal and to grow. So that's another game changer. So that's just a handful. I mean, you actually 6 rituals in the package with Empower Thyself Initiation, but those, we just touched on a few of them there and what they do.
And they are so powerful.
Yeah.
And the more that we practice, so I'm also really big on practice, and the term practice, and actually the physical, like what it looks like. A practice, right, means that you were doing something repeatedly. It's never a one and done. This journey of self-discovery and of connection to ourselves and of healing is ongoing, because there's many layers, right? We have different bodies, the energetic body, a physical body, like there's like, in Kundalini, there's like 10. And so if we look at it that way, also inside there's many layers. We're complex. There's so much conditioning and patterns and things in us. As we take the deliberate path, the courageous, bold, deliberate path of getting to know ourselves and healing not only, when we can heal ourselves, we're going to heal the relationship dynamics that are going on around us. We're able to call in more things that support us, that we're able to bounce back a bit quicker, or even to see. And I know you shared a story just between you have shared a story with me about some of the things, how you know you've healed, because there's certain triggers or situations that would have kept you spinning all day or maybe a couple days that now you're like, oh, like something as simple as somebody cut in front of me and took my parking spot. You know what I mean? Or
oh, that's nothing to me anymore.
Right? Exactly. But there's,
if anything, I have compassion for that person because I'm like, well, they must be in a more of a hurry than me. But that used to be the old me would be, very triggered and upset and like projecting all kinds of stuff on that person, be angry, and that's no way to live life.
Right.
We're not free. We're not free when other people can trigger us so easily. We're at the mercy of the world. And we want to be free as spiritual beings. So the fewer triggers that we have, the freer we are.
Amen. We are not free as long as we're at the mercy of the actions and behaviors of others.
Exactly. Woo. Yeah. So
that right there is like, yes.
It's powerful, right? And that's actually one of the biggest takeaways that I've received from working with these tools is just how important it is to take self-responsibility. Mm-hmm. And to not be a victim, because victim is the opposite of empowerment. We are not really victims. We created our own life. And yes, we can be thrown things at us that are unexpected or unpleasant, but how we respond to it is completely up to us. So we are way more powerful than we often give ourselves credit for. And so the more that we give our power away to other people and situations, and our emotions or our actions or our thoughts, the less free we are, really.
Mm-hmm. So true. And I think what I was trying to get to was in terms of being able to amplify the power of that is through the practice of the rituals and of staying consistent with those things. But you'll get to a point where it's like, if you do fall off, you will see and feel in your life in terms of how you're feeling that it's time to get back in and to use these tools.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it becomes self-evident. Like I'm a guide, and so I have the privilege of teaching people how to use these tools. Mm-hmm. But the same way that no one forced me to use them, I don't force anyone else to use them. They just become self-evident. You use them, and and you want people to be self-motivated and to see the power of it. No one is going to tell you to do your rituals. I'm not a babysitter, right? That's not the point. But you use them and you'll see the difference, how your day flows, how things manifest in your life, how easeful things are, how much more grace there is, how much more you're able to stay in a positive frame of mind. Just so many benefits that you get from using them that why would you stop, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. And you know what? We shared quite a bit, y'all. And I love these conversations. Look, we're already almost at the end of our 30-minute segment. It's like incredible how much can come through in these conversations. And for anyone listening now or who catches this recorded, just really think about that. You are a sovereign being, and it really is up to us individually to set ourselves free. Mm-hmm. But by making the choice of wanting to be free, we do attract like-minded others and people that can support us in ensuring that we have that sustained way of being. But again, nobody can take your hand and make you do anything. That's what free will is. And we always have that free will. Always.
Free will is the greatest gift that we've been given by God.
Yeah, free will. So it's
our choice on how we use it, really.
Mm-hmm. So Dawn, do you, in closing, want to share anything? I know you got a book. You released a book.
I do. I just released this. Can you see it?
Yes.
About a month ago. So it's called Ancient Healings, Modern Miracles. It's available online, any online retailer, bookstore, Amazon, of course, Barnes & Noble, whatever you use, you can find it there. And if you happen to be in the San Diego area, this weekend on Saturday at 2:00, I'm having a book launch party. So that's open to the public. It's free. I'll be doing a talk and a Q&A. So if this piqued your interest, you're very welcome to join and hear that. And the book is contains 24 stories of how these tools that Keasha and I have been talking about have helped people transform their lives. So it's very hopeful, it's inspirational, and I think people will be able to find a story in this book, at least one that they can relate to, or that they see the reflection of someone that they love in, who could really benefit from having more tools to support them in their life.
Beautiful. Yes. And then,
We're being asked to show the book again.
oh, okay. Ancient Healings, Modern Miracles. Yes. It's
Okay.
beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hey, Ari, and thank you, Judith, for tuning in, and anyone else. We share some good stuff in terms of what we practice and through the ancient tools and practices of the lineage of King Solomon. So thank you so much, my dear friend,
Thank
for
you, Keasha.
coming
Thank you,
on.
everyone who's watching live or later. And feel free to, reach out. I love talking about this. Happy to talk with anyone individually as well.
All right. Well, y'all have a beautiful day. Until next time with Conversations with Keasha. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.